Coming up tonight, U.S. intelligence is aware of 4 more spy balloons.
Will congressional leaders know about the matter? And Senator, returned to the Senate after fall last month.
Then runners united on the 10th anniversary of Boston Marathon bombing for this year's running. What the community did to commemorate the tragedy, plus a look at Plattsburgh weather, entertainment, and sports tonight on PS News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kennedy Tavares.
And I'm John Cardwell. Our top story tonight. The Washington Post is reporting that U.S. intelligence agencies were aware of up to 4 additional Chinese spy balloons. The Post is citing documents leaked by Jack Teixeira on Discord for their report. According to the Post, another balloon flew over a U.S. carrier strike group, and a third had crashed in the South China Sea. However, the Post says the leaked documents did not mention specific launch dates. The Post is also reporting that a document from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency contains a government assessment about 2 balloons from previous years. However, the Post says it is not clear if those 2 balloons were the same ones that flew over the strike group and crashed. The Post is also reporting that the documents show that questions still remain about the true capabilities of the one balloon that flew over the U.S. earlier this year. It was shot down off the coast of South Carolina. 2 sources have told CNN that congressional leaders have received a steady stream of intelligence reporting about the spy balloons and were briefed on the leaked documents reported by the Post. Sources have previously told CNN that the leaked documents and images were authentic. However, the sources also say that it only represents a small fraction of the intelligence reporting about the balloon that has been briefed to lawmakers.
4 people are dead after a mass shooting in Alabama erupted at a Sweet 16th birthday party on Saturday. This happened in Dadville, about 60 miles northeast of Montgomery. Authorities say 28 other people have suffered injuries during the shooting. Some of the victims are in critical condition. A local pastor said one of those killed included high school football player Philstavius Dodwell. He was the brother of the birthday girl. A DJ at the party said he did not witness a fight or disturbance before the shooting. Police shared what they've learned during a Sunday news conference.
4 lives, not fatalities, lives. There were 4 lives tragically lost in this incident, and there's been a multitude of injuries. As they said, this is going to be a long, complicated process. We're thankful to the sheriff, to the chief, to everyone, to the district attorney for all of their support. But we're going to continue to work through in a very methodical way to go through this scene, to look at the facts, and ensure that justice is brought to bear for the families.
Authorities have not released any details about the suspected shooter or a motive for the attack. The White House says it has been in contact with Alabama authorities and law enforcement to offer support. And Alabama Governor Kay Ivey publicly sent out her condolences to the community.
The start of the Dominion voting system's defamation case against Fox News will be delayed. The trial was set to start on Monday, but the judge overseeing the case announced Sunday that the trial won't start until Tuesday. Dominion sued Fox, saying the network defamed it when anchors and reporters claimed the company's voting machines somehow switched votes for former President Donald Trump and gave them to Joe Biden. Dominion says those statements hurt its business, and Fox knowingly made those false claims because it didn't want to lose some of its viewers. Dominion is suing Fox for $1.6 billion. Fox denies the charges and says it was just reporting on newsworthy allegations. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is back to work on Capitol Hill Monday. The Kentucky Republican was recovering from a fall at a dinner event last month in Washington, D.C. He was treated for a concussion and a rib fracture before being released to an inpatient rehabilitation facility for physical therapy. In McConnell's announcement about his return, the 81-year-old said, quote, "We've got important business to tackle and big fights to win for Kentuckians and the American people." One of the first items of business, how to handle Democrats' requests to remove 89-year-old Dianne Feinstein from the Senate Judiciary Committee, replaced as she continues to recover from shingles.
The 127th running of the Boston Marathon is ongoing this afternoon. The big long-distance race comes 2 days after the 10-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. On April 15, 2013, 2 pressure cooker bombs exploded near the finish line, both within seconds of one another and happening about 100 yards apart. The back-to-back bombings killed 3 people and injured more than 260. Police launched a chaotic multi-day manhunt for who was responsible. 4 days later, that search had come to an end, a dramatic end. A 19-year-old Dzhonkar Tsarnaev was arrested after his 26-year-old brother Tamerlan Tsarnaev was killed in a shootout.
About 100,000 registered nurses in the U.S. have already left the field due to the stress and burnout caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to a survey published Thursday by the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. Its researchers analyzed data from nearly 30,000 registered and advanced nurses and more than 24,000 licensed practical or vocational nurses across 45 states. More than a quarter of those surveyed plan to leave the industry or retire in the next 5 years. More than 60% of the nurses surveyed said their workload increased during the pandemic, and more than half said they felt emotionally drained at work. Almost half of nurses, mostly those with less than 10 years experience, said they felt fatigued or burnout. Exhaustion was a driving factor behind a strike in New York in January, when more than 7,000 nurses took to the streets to call attention to staffing shortages and burnout. After the break, a look at your Plattsburgh weather and entertainment news. Stay with us.
Warp Radio runs on Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10 here on campus. It gives Plattsburgh students an opportunity to be a radio DJ and see if that's something they have interest in for a future career path. You're listening to WARP, Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10, Plattsburgh, New York.
Welcome back. I'm your meteorologist, Marcel Gibbs, and here's a look at your Plattsburgh weather. Now, I know last time on here it said 60s and 70s. Looks like we're taking a plunge back to our normal everyday weather. We're seeing 40s across the board. We're seeing 44 for Owl's Head, 44 as well for Vermontville, 45 for Dannemora, 47 for All Sable Forks, 47 for Plattsburgh. Looks like at least we have the highest on here. 46 for St. Albans City and 46 for Wilson. Now let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Now, I remember saying that we would get our spring weather and temperature back, and I think I jinxed us. We're seeing 50 for Tuesday. That sun is no longer here. We're seeing clouds. 47 for Wednesday. It seems we're only going down. The sun still hasn't made a comeback. But on Thursday, it decides to show its face. It doesn't have the spring temperatures that I really want, though, with a temperature of 55. 71, those spring temperatures are finally coming back, but only for that day. And the sun is kind of cloudy. And on Saturday, we're getting that rain shower and a temperature of 56. Hopefully next week is better than this one, but I'm not going to say anything. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk with John and Kennedy.
Thanks, Marcel. Get ready for changes to some of your favorite burgers at McDonald's. The restaurant chain says it's upgrading its signature burgers. The change includes softer buns, gooier cheese, and onions added right from the grill. And Big Macs will be served with more sauce. The upgrades will also be made for the McDouble burger, the classic cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, and hamburger. People can already try out the new burgers in some U.S. cities, including Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. McDonald's says the new menu will be available across the country by early next year. Burger King has also announced changes to its Whopper and to make it more visible in advertising.
If you need some inspiration to get in shape, this next story is for you. The man who's weightlifting in this video just turned 100 years old, and he has celebrated his birthday by bench pressing 100 pounds. Werner Schupelitz is a World War II veteran. He credits his trainer for helping him stay fit and for lifting his mood when he's down. His instructor says Schupelitz never misses a workout session, and now he's working toward another goal. He plans to participate in the Senior Olympics this October.
Now let's take a look at what's going on in entertainment with Michael Merced.
Well, that was definitely some feel-good news. But welcome back to Entertainment Tonight. I'm Michael Merced. Actors Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson have had a bromance brewing for years. But now McConaughey says there's a possibility that they are brothers. On a podcast interview, he said that they were all sitting around a few years ago in Greece when his mom said she knew Harrelson's father. It made them wonder if she meant no in the biblical sense. He said they found out Harrelson's dad was on furlough at the same time his mom and dad were in their second divorce. That's right, McConaughey's parents got divorced twice and married 3 times. McConaughey's father passed away in 1993. McConaughey said he and Harrelson are on the edge of doing DNA tests to verify their suspicions. But he said he was more reluctant than Harrelson in case he discovers that his father might not be his biological parent after 53 years of believing that. Billionaire and Twitter CEO Elon Musk created a new artificial intelligence company. He's calling it X.AI Corp. State filing says it's being incorporated in Nevada. The private company is similarly named to Musk's idea of an everything app called X. Twitter also recently changed its company name to X Corp. The state's filings were made in March, and the company has authorized the sale of 100 million shares. It will be a show fit for a king. We now know who will be performing at King Charles's coronation concert next month. The BBC announced on Friday that Lionel Richie and Katy Perry will be among the performers who will be taking the stage. The network is the broadcaster and organizer of the concert, which will draw a crowd of 20,000 people. Other performers include international opera star Andrea Bocelli and the British pop group Take That. The concert will be held on the grounds of Windsor Castle on May 7th, which is the day after the coronation. During the show, well-known locations across the country will be lit up using lasers, drone displays, and projections. Phantom of the Opera took its final bow. After 35 years, composer Andrew Lloyd Webber's iconic musical closed Sunday evening. That makes Phantom of the Opera's Broadway's longest-running production, which includes nearly 14,000 performances. The show returned after being closed during the pandemic, but its running costs approached $1 million a week. That meant it often wouldn't gross enough to offset these costs. New York City honored and thanked Webber last week with a key to the city. Webber said Broadway is the reason why so many people come to New York, and he's thankful to have been a part of the community. That's all for entertainment tonight. I'm Michael Merced. Just ahead, a look at your wide world of sports with Patrick Pfeiffer. Stay with us.
Film Club is a place for people who like movies and want to discuss movies can watch and discuss with other people with the same interest.
I really love the discussion of Film Club and just getting to talk with all different kinds of people with their favorite genres and everything else in the film world, whether it's big blockbusters or small indies.
We meet in Yoakum 205 at 5 p.m.
I'm the treasurer of Pinky Swear PAC, and we are a cancer foundation on campus, and we help families and children who are struggling with cancer. We help with the hidden fees, such as mortgages, groceries, and here we focus on making cards and having fundraisers, and we also like to have de-stressing events. We also have an Instagram, which is PSU_PAC.
Welcome back with your PS Sports Update. I'm Patrick Pfeiffer. The Plattsburgh State men's lacrosse team continues to struggle in conference play as they dropped the game 17-9 to SUNY Oneonta on Saturday afternoon. The Red Dragons finished with a 52-39 cushion in shots and a 26-23 edge in ground balls. The Cardinals went 2 for 7 on extra man opportunities while clearing the ball at an 18 for 19 clip. Plattsburgh State falls to 2-10 overall with the loss and next visits SUNY Brockport in its final road game of the regular season on Saturday, April 22nd at 12 p.m. Despite a strong performance in the first half, the Plattsburgh State women's lacrosse team fell to Oswego State 17-6 in SUNYAC action on Saturday afternoon. The Lakers held a 35-28 edge in shots, a 16-9 cushion in draw controls, and a 19-17 advantage in ground balls. The Cardinals were 16 for 23 on clears, including a perfect 9 for 9 showing in the second half. Plattsburgh State falls to 5-7 overall with the loss and next faces off against SUNY Oneonta on Wednesday, April 19th at 4 p.m. Plattsburgh State baseball is looking to turn their season around after sweeping SUNY New Paltz in the 3-game SUNYAC series. The scores of the 3 games were 7-5, 4-3, and 10-7. On the mound, all 3 starters went 7+ innings, and all 3 collected a win. Sean Malamud went 7 2/3 innings and struck out 7, while only allowing 4 earned runs. Chris Santic went 7 1/3 innings and only allowed 2 earned runs. And Andrew Veit closed out the series going strong 8 1/3 innings and striking out a career-high 11 batters. On the defensive side for the Cardinals, everyone chipped in with their hits. But Kyle Kremen stole the show, going 7 for 10 on the weekend and racking up 5 RBIs. Connor Gonzalowski had a big game, one going 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Kremen still leads the team with an average of .368, and Nick Sergol and Connor Gonzalowski are behind him, hitting .275 and .268. Plattsburgh improves to 9-14 overall and will next host St. Lawrence on Tuesday, April 18th at 3 p.m. The SUNY Plattsburgh State softball team split in a SUNYAC doubleheader on Saturday afternoon on the road in Potsdam. The Cards suffered their first conference loss to the Bears, losing 4-3 before bouncing back for a Game 2 comeback win. Julia Galino and Claire Palmer each finished with 3 hits on the day, as Galino scored 3 times and Palmer drove in a run and scored. Morgan Almerid pitched both games in relief, tallying 2 1/3 innings of scoreless ball and earning the win in Game 2 for Plattsburgh. Katie Smith had a huge Game 2 performance, going 3 for 3 at the plate and scoring once. Danielle Torres went 2 for 3 from the plate, and Michelle Gonzalez had a key inside the park grand slam that gave the Cards the lead for good. Plattsburgh State moves to 14-4 on the year and will next head to SUNY Canton on Wednesday, April 19th for a non-conference doubleheader. With your PS Sports Update, I'm Patrick Pfeiffer, also known as P5. Call me whatever you want, but that's all for your PS Sports. Now back to the desk with Kennedy and John.
Thanks, P5P5FO. Well, that's all we have for today. That's all the time we've got for this edition of PS News. Thank you for joining us.
To stay up to date, follow at Plattsburgh State TV on social media. I'm Kennedy Tavares.
And I'm John Carduello. Stay tuned for the premiere of Beware the Night Hours, Episode 2 and Episode 3 of the Eli Pat Show, right here in just a few moments. Once again, thank you for joining us and have a great night, Plattsburgh.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I commend you all who have glimpsed into the darkness of the night and have decided to return back to me. As a reward for your bravery, let me offer this sage advice. The difference between greed and ambition is a greedy person desires what he is not prepared to work for. I'll let you all sit on that. For now, let us continue to the rest of the episode. Once again, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to Beware the Night Hours. To remind those who have perhaps forgotten or are new, I am world-renowned cryptozoologist Wes Donahue.
And I'm his co-host, James Redkin.
Now, after those introductions, let's move right into talking about more cryptids that lurk in the corner of your vision, slipping away right as you turn your head to look.
That's a little spooky. But first, let's take a notice of my outfit. I decided to go your route, except slightly better, because I have a bow tie. And also this nice chain that I found on the street. Anyway, I know the last episode was supposed to be the introduction to those that aren't as well-versed to cryptics and stuff, but Wes doesn't know anything about slowly easing people into something, and man just jumps in without thinking sometimes. You know it's true. I'm not lying, and I'm right.
I resent that statement entirely. In this field, you must remain cool, calm, and collected if you want to keep your life.
It is not only your life that hangs in the balance. If anyone else's life even matters to you.
What the hell was that?
What was what? You just kind of zoned out for a second there, Wes.
Did no one else hear that? I could have sworn that.
Dude.
Everyone hold on. Stop. What?
You look insane. You look insane. I'm just telling you straight. Literally nothing happened. Just got whatever we were talking about, whatever weird creature you were going to introduce. You don't want to keep the hosts waiting because you're stalling, do you?
Of course. Let's continue. Let's start off with the Flatwoods monster from Flatwoods, West Virginia.
Dude, at this point, I'm convinced that you're choosing super obscure monsters just to flex that you're smarter than the rest of us, even though these monsters I've never heard of in my life, and you're acting a bit more of a jerk than usual, because you are jerky.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
honestly, I honestly thought.
The first stage of grief is denial, Wesley. And frankly, I believe you're in it. Don't worry, I can bulldoze you right to acceptance. I got you.
To annoy me. I thought you would know about this creature because of its influence in pop culture, but apparently not.
What are you talking about?
Well, the Flatwoods Monster has appeared in various video games, such as being a boss in Space Harrier 2, and even appearing in Fallout 76. There's also various TV show specials attempting to track and find it, just like all those Bigfoot shows that you adore so much.
Okay, yeah, this is fair. Something that I would definitely know, and definitely should know. Carry on, I'll give you that.
Anyway, the Flatwoods Monster appears to be extraterrestrial in nature, just like the Fresno Nightcrawlers from last episode. It's reported to be 10 feet tall and 4 feet wide, with its body being made of inorganic material such as metal. Its eyes are piercing and glow with green-orange hue. The first sighting was made in 1952 by 3 young boys who apparently saw it appear after watching a UFO crash nearby. It's said to have a putrid odor and of sulfur and leaves traces of black liquid wherever it goes. There have also been reports that the creature is reptilian in nature and when its metal armor is removed, which leads some to believe that it is the same creature as the nearby Frametown Monster.
Yo, this guy sounds pretty rad. Just seems like some little funky dude just having a swell old time just in the country roads of West Virginia. I wish I could say that song, but I'm pretty sure that we would be sued. I don't have money.
It isn't a funky little dude. It's a wildly dangerous creature that people need to steer clear of.
I think he's a funky little guy. But I'm assuming that you're not included with the group of people.
Of course I'm not. I'm a world-renowned cryptozoologist, of course. And the highest professional. I have the knowledge and experience to safely document this creature. Of course.
But how did you gain that knowledge in the first place, Judas? Who granted you access to the tree?
Who keeps doing this?
Dude, you're freaking out over nothing. How about we just move on to the next one, and then we can give you a little break, all right?
No, we're not dropping this. I know that I saw that I heard something, and we will be addressing it later. We will, okay?
All right, bud. If you're going through your little freak out, can I recommend a monster then? I'd say it's only fair.
If you say Bigfoot, I'm going to hit you.
You know what? I was going to say just to antagonize you, but don't worry, I was actually going to say the Jersey Devil, actually. It's cool and it fits into the category, and plenty of people actually know about it without it being super oversaturated.
Normally, I steer clear of anything demonic in nature, but I guess that's okay.
Mr. Fountain of Knowledge avoiding a chance to learn things? I'm surprised, and honestly, quite disappointed. I thought you were better than this.
I'm a cryptozoologist, not a demonologist.
Okay, bud. Yeah, but you absorb knowledge like a sponge, dude, and basically froth at the mouth at the chance to learn something new. What's stopping you here? Seems a bit cowardly. Are you coward? Scared of a little knowledge?
Was the fruit plucked from the tree not as sweet as you thought?
Okay, you have to have heard that. It was so loud. I mean, come on. It's like there's a hand wrapping around my heart. And it's trying to pull at my chest. It was so surreal.